Well, we're going to try this again. We are going to head out and try to get down the Laguna Canyon Road before anything happens. Yesterday was a nightmare, and I am so glad that I turned around and came home. I am not happy that I sat in traffic as long as I did. So we're going to try again and hope for the best today. Okay, so we made it. After yesterday, I wasn't sure I was going to make it. Now let me show you something really quickly. There is the shuttle. Now the shuttle is free, but they charge you to park up the canyon, and then you have to wait on the shuttle. So if I were coming down here and I were going to be spending all afternoon and all evening, then I definitely would take the shuttle. If you're only going to be here a couple of hours, then you might spend a lot of your time just waiting for that shuttle. And as it turns out, I got parking right next to the building. So sorry, a load of porta potties just went by. Well, they didn't go by, they're parked right in front. Don't know where they're going. The Laguna Festival of the Art is one of the foremost art festivals in the United States, and some of the top 100 artists of Orange County are represented here. Now in the neighborhood there is also the art that is called the Art Affair, and then there is also the Sawdust Festival. And what we're going to look at tonight is very high end with a price tag to go along with that. And I do have a couple of things from this art festival, not too many because they're pretty pricey. But once in a while when you find something that you just fall in love with, you just say, I love it. Anyway, I'm going to show you what's new for this year. And the artists are also there representing their art, and sometimes it's kind of nice to talk with them too. So I hope you enjoy. Okay, my favorite artist here is Cheryl. And they're so unique, and Cheryl is here. You get to meet her, and she'll tell you a little bit about how she does it.
So my name is Cheryl Walsh. I am an underwater fine art portrait photographer. This is my work. I photograph mostly women, but some men, people dressed in very elaborate outfits and costumes underwater. I set up my studio in my backyard swimming pool as a studio. I have lights in the water, above the water. I have backdrops in there, just like if you were going to have your portrait taken at a professional studio. Just so happens that my studio is filled with water.
I just love it. So spectacular. Oh, I just love everything she does. Look at this, look at this. They're so unique. This is another one of my favorites because of course I love all things water. But this really looks like mother of pearl coming up from the ocean with bubbles. Oh, boy, I wish I had a wall big enough to put that on. just really beautiful pieces of art. Now, if I had a bigger house, definitely.
Clarinet sounded terrible. And so that's when they went to woodwinds. But Brian loves things that are old and battered and well used, and he believes that the music still resides in the instruments.
That's terrific.
And so
What a great piece of art it became.
isn't that fab, this antique lamp?
This is really neat because she adds a whole dimension to every one of her pieces. So I don't know if you can see that, but it's three-dimensional and the whole thing is set in glass. There you go. And after talking to the artist, I now know that these have all been sold, so hopefully the person who bought them doesn't mind. Those are real paintbrushes in there, by the way.
Hi there. My name is Monica Edwards, and I'm a plein air painter, and I do a lot of large botanical works as well.
What is plein air painting? Explain
Plein air painting is basically, it's a French term for painting outside. One of the things that I do, I am a docent with the Irvine Ranch Conservancy, and I also have classes with Orange County Parks. It's free. You just sign up on their website. It's letsgooutside.org. The montage area, these are my apricots from my apricot tree, and best seen from far away because it's a 6-foot painting.
In case you're interested, there is other types of art here besides the type that you hang on the wall. My personal favorite, the kind you wear. Oh yes, and there are some spectacular gems in this case. Mr. Larson's booth. This art making you hungry? Well, there's a fabulous restaurant, and then they also have kind of a little snack bar thing here too. So pretty soon the music's going to start and we're going to be able to listen to some jazz, and if you've brought your picnic, then you can have your wine and cheese.
We'll begin at the information desk. Just make entrance. Please join us at this time. All courtesy of CBS.
My name is Sherry Cohen, and this is my jewelry. And as you can see, it's very large and very bold. And part of the reason that it is so large and so bold is because I believe that it is time for women to put themselves forward and get out there in the world. Stop being invisible and celebrate our power. So I make jewelry for self-confident women. We'll start with something little, try it on, and you'll be amazed how wonderful it makes you feel. Now, I don't use any traditional jewelry materials. I don't use gold. I do use sterling silver and bronze, but I like really unusual things like fossils or natural stone. And what the pyrite does is it creates this natural process called pseudomorphing, and it eats the ammonite and replaces it with replaces the skeletal structure with iron pyrite. Heart. This is the matrix of amethyst, and this is the beginning of the amethyst growing. So now, I don't consider that I make jewelry, I actually consider that I make art, called Aqua Aura. Aqua Aura is quartz crystal, and when it is put into a vacuum chamber, and into the vacuum chamber is put the gaseous form of pure gold, it turns the crystal blue. This is both 100% natural and 100% scientific. So kyanite is kind of almost like lava, where it has all kinds of texture. So the kyanite is 100% natural. They put it into the vacuum chamber and grow the microcrystalline structure of dichroic onto it, and that's why you get this color shifting. Now, this is the same stone, kyanite. But as you notice, the stone has a different structure to it. And look at how those colors shift and come up with all kinds of wonderful things. If you're going to wear a ring, what you want to do is wear a small sculpture. I believe if you have tiny fingers but a big personality, you should be able to wear large rings. They're obviously all one of a kind. And so that's one of my specialties. Necklaces like this are an invitation. And so they're going to figure if you can wear something this unusual, you must be this unusual. So what I'd like to say, and my message to women is, you're not too old. You're never too old. And actually, there comes a point in our life where we get to own ourselves, where we get to say, I'm going to wear what I want to wear. Start celebrating. You reach a point in your life where you have to take control and start celebrating. And that's what my jewelry does. It celebrates our power.
Well said, Sherry. Later in the evening at 8:30, the Pageant of the Master is going to start, and that is what I consider the bucket list item in Laguna Beach. So if you haven't done that, put that on your bucket list. Hey, thanks for joining me, and if you enjoyed this video, then give it a thumbs up. Other people might enjoy watching it too. I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.